Hello everyone, welcome to SCube TV. I am your host Rajni, and today on the program I have with me again a very special guest. Her name is Dr. Tamanna Agrawal. She is a dietitian, and today on the program we are going to speak with her about the kind of diet you should have during COVID and after your COVID recovery. Because food is the most important thing for a human body. And what kind of food should you have and you shouldn't have during COVID and after getting recovering from the COVID, what you should have and shouldn't have, she's going to tell you all about that. But before, let's welcome her to Escape TV. Hi, Dr. Tamanna. Welcome to Escape TV.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to SCube TV and taking your time out. It's so lovely, having you on the show. So now, before I would not like to waste any time, and I would like to just start the show and ask you my very first question. So, my very first question to you is, firstly, before we talk about food, I actually would like to know from you, how should one take care of themselves if they have got COVID? What should they do?
Ma'am, if first thing, if one is detected with COVID-19, the first major step he needs to take is to please go urgently to a doctor and get, the required
Yeah.
prescription and medication. But it should not be neglected. And the
Mm-hmm.
other important thing is that you need to get quarantine, home quarantine. Isolation is very important because we will never want any other member, to get infected with us because they need to take
True.
care of us as well. So it is the very most important step as well. Other than that,
Okay.
what a person can do within the isolation is the first important thing is the person need to maintain the personal hygiene, needs to take
Mm-hmm.
bath once or twice regularly, needs to brush his teeth. Oral hygiene is a very important part here. Other than that,
Mm-hmm.
diet also plays important role. One needs to make sure he is having enough protein, enough of the micronutrients that are required to build up your immunity and to recover
Mm-hmm.
yourself, because you feel a lot weak during this period. You
Mm-hmm.
start to feel weak and body
Yeah.
aches and everything happens, so you need to
Mm-hmm.
take major care of that. Other than that, breathing exercises must be done, like inhale and exhale exercises, deep inhaling and exhaling can be
Mm-hmm.
done. Then there is some instruments also that are available in the market that can be used to do so. Also, a person can try to blow up a balloon, that will also help them to perform this act. Then
Okay.
also, under medical supervision, one must always check their fever, their BP, and their oxygen saturation twice or thrice a day, and must make a record so that whoever the medical practitioner they are being consulting, they can have a good record and analyze their situation and guide them accordingly.
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, those are some really great tips, some easy tips and some really great tips that you mentioned here. So also, Dr. Tamanna, I also would like to know from you that, after getting your COVID recovery, there's a lot of weakness in your body. So
Yeah.
while you get the COVID, these are the things that you should be taking care of, and this is how you should be taking care of. I mean, the steps that you told. But if after getting recovery, and because it happens that, sometimes you get the results negative, but you still have weakness inside your body and, physical pain and all that is happening. So at that time, what should you do and how should you take care?
Actually, weakness is a very prolonged, it actually continues for a very prolonged period after the COVID
Yeah,
recovery. And people feel weak after, for quite a long time. So I
yeah.
suggest at least to take a very good rest. Their body needs rest, so they need to give it good rest. Also,
Mm-hmm.
if body allows, they must try to walk around for 5 or 10 minutes, just as much period as the body allows to. Do not force your body to do, but yes, some exercise is important so that the blood circulation in the body keeps regulated and there is no issue in that. Other than that, a person can do regular gargles once or twice a day. That will help because the
Mm-hmm.
throat infection, people feel irritated in the throat or they feel
Yeah.
comfortable. So
Mm-hmm.
they can try, doing gargles by
Mm-hmm.
adding some salt in a lukewarm water. That will help the, remove the infection from the throat and it will help to cure. Other than that,
Mm-hmm.
immunity boosting food must be included in the diet, especially the foods which are rich, which help in building the immunity are vitamin A rich food, vitamin E rich food, and vitamin
Mm-hmm.
C rich. Vitamin A may we basically include all the nuts and seeds that we take. Then the colored vegetables and fruits like the bell peppers that are available, red, yellow bell peppers
Mm-hmm.
that are also in antioxidants. So that
Mm-hmm.
also help to remove the toxicity and everything from your body. Also,
Mm-hmm.
green vegetables, carrots, these can be added. Other than that, vitamin C rich food like the citrus fruits, capsicum is
Yeah.
also vitamin C. Then lemon,
Okay.
amla, these fruits can be included. For For vitamin E, a person can include seeds, nuts. Also, if under the recommendation of a doctor, you can always go for some supplements during that period to get a quick
Mhm.
recovery from.
Okay, but also, it is happening that when a person is getting, it's getting detected with COVID and is having the virus in their body, so, they are not longing for the food and they don't want to eat that food. And if, food is given to them, they just don't want to eat it because of something going in their body. So just they don't want to be, and also they just don't want to be around food. Because they are getting nauseous or some things like that. So at that particular time, how should they convince themselves to eat food and what should they do?
The first thing is one should never get panic after he or she has been detected with COVID, because your mental health really affects your body and the physically
Yeah.
whatever you are planning, Hannah. So that really
Mhm.
affects. So you do not need to panic. Stay away from all the negative news, all the negativity around you. Try
Yeah.
to talk with your parents, your families on video calls, obviously, because you cannot connect to them.
Yeah.
But you can always call your friends on video calls, talk to them, share whatever you are feeling, so that you calm yourself down. Also, you can
Mhm.
perform some meditation activities that will help you calm your mind. Other than
Mhm.
that, what you do is, if you do not feel like having big meals, just have little food, whatever you feel like. Include those small meals in your diet after very short
Mhm.
gap, as in just try to have something after every 1 to 2 hours, so that your body, the weakness you are facing, that also get recovered. Also, if you are taking medications, your body needs food to absorb them, so you need to
Yeah.
have some. We need to be
Mhm.
mentally prepared for that. We have to teach ourselves basically that what is important and what is not. So we have
Yeah.
to be mindful, but yes, panic is the something that can worsen the situation here.
So, I was saying that I don't know if I should ask you this question or not, but still I would like to, ask you. But the question here is, a lot of doctors, not just a lot of doctors, but doctors are actually in general providing their patients, who's getting a COVID, they are providing their patients with multivitamins. So the question here is a lot of patients are, when their body's going through weakness and they're feeling the weakness in their body, so they are eating that, having that medicine, the multivitamin. So for how long should they, even after getting recovered from the virus, should they also take the multivitamins, and for how long should they, keep on eating their multivitamin?
Ma'am, that depends upon the deficiencies in their body and also the time they need to recover. But yes,
Okay.
this should be always under a medical supervision. One should not, just plan on ourselves or anyone
Yeah.
around says, so okay, please take a supplement that will help you. That should never be done, because that can obviously
Mhm.
backfire. Because of any vitamin, any micronutrient in the body can lead to any other, problem that can arise due to
True.
that. So we need to always check from a doctor or any nutritionist or a dietitian for whatever supplement they need to take and for how long and what dose basically they need to have for it.
Okay, so it should be done under the doctor's supervision. Okay. Regardless of you getting the virus or not, so what should you include in your diet? Especially at these times when the virus is in the air, so you don't know at what time and when you might catch the virus. So at that time, what should we include? As I'm talking about the regular people, normal people. So what should they include in their diet? If you can please talk about that.
One should obviously have a very balanced diet. Matlab, try avoiding go for some outside food like refined
Junk
food.
and all.
Yeah, that should be avoided. Zyada spicy food should not be included. I'm not talking about the spices we use, but the mirchi, the spicy flavor
Okay.
of the food, that should not be more. Yes, spices, the herbs that we use in our kitchen, that must be included, because that will help you build up your immunity. Other than that,
Mm-hmm.
turmeric in the form of tea or turmeric milk, that can be consumed with some black
Mm-hmm.
pepper in it, because black pepper enhances the absorption of turmeric in the body. So that
Mm-hmm.
is always recommended. If you are taking turmeric in any form, do include black pepper, powdered black pepper in it, so that its absorption increases. Only then it will affect you properly.
Okay.
And other than that, the vitamins, as I told you, immunity building vitamins, that need to be added.
Mm-hmm.
And then what a person can do is, instead of taking cold water, because I know it's too hot this time, but still
Yeah.
avoid taking cold water, because a little infection in the throat can make us more prone to this virus. So we would not really want that. So
Mm-hmm.
try being more healthy, as much healthy as we can be in this period, so that our chances of getting this infection decreases. Also,
Okay.
include some vegetables, fruits in our daily life. We need to include these. Also almonds and walnuts, soaked walnuts, almonds, or some nuts and seeds, other seeds can be added in the routine. That can be taken in the morning just after you wake up, or in the mid-meal, anytime in the routine. Also, more and more water needs to be added in the routine, because we are not that active in taking water. Also, our schedule is so hectic, we always skip, neglect having water, and it's like, "Leti hu, koi baat nahi, I'll have it." It's being postponed. So it's recommended to have more and more water, and try, if you can, please have some lukewarm water.
Okay.
That will help you to build up your immunity.
Also, you actually made a great point here, that we normally tend to forget taking water. And even though, after saying so many times that we should include at least 4 to 5 liters of water in a day, but still we tend to forget it. So at that time, if you can please talk about, can we also add, there's a confusion. I'm confused about this fact. If you can please clear this out. So, a few people say that if you are not able to take your water just, directly, so you can, add a Glucon-D, or you can add something, there are so many things in the market. So you can add something and then you can take. But also that Glucon-D and other things, other products, there are so many, sugar is so much in those products. So would they be healthy if we take it, if we drink it and if we add it in water?
Yeah, I'm getting your point. Yes, actually, I don't recommend taking all these drinks. It's always better to go for any, natural drinks. Like, we can go for coconut water. That is something very, very naturally available, and I'm sure everyone actually likes it. And it is a good source also, boost up your energy, instant energy source as well. So even after the post workout, as people go for, that energy drinks, ye wali peeli, wo wali peeli, rather than that can also be replaced with the coconut water. That is also very helpful in that case. So I would say it's not just about drinking plain water. You can always add some lemon to it. You can always and also the other sources of water, like we get enough water from the fruits and vegetables as well. So if we are consuming of that, so it is not necessary that we need to have water only, because at times, drinking plain water causes bloating in some people. Need to see how your body responds to things. So if you feel like having water, do have it. To include more water in routine, what you can do is, like, before, half an hour before every meal, you can have 1 glass of water. After half to 1 hour after the meal, you can have 1 glass of water. So it makes it at least 6 glasses of water every day. At least 6 glasses have been intaken this way. That you can have one just after waking up, 1 to 2 glasses, how much ever is comfortable to you accordingly. So other than that, we are taking fruits and vegetables in diet, so that comes out to be sufficient for the day.
So are there also some other juices that are good for, for hydrating your body? Good source for hydration,
We go for some plant-based juices, as in aloe vera juice. If we are adding some quantity of aloe vera juice in water and having, or we are taking amla juice, but that too has to be in a very limited concentration, because excess can be backfire. Juice can be taken, but still it is better if you go for some natural source, because all those branded and the jo packaged bottles mein juices are rahi, these are all refined somehow, and these do contain preservatives and everything. So it's avoid these and take the natural sources instead.
Okay, and if we talk about aloe vera juice or other form of juices, so how much can be taken a day? Morning and evening?
It can be taken about, actually they always have that measuring cap on it, so you can always measure that 1 cap per day is almost sufficient. It comes out to be 5 ml or 10 ml accordingly. It depends upon the juice you are consuming. We say normally if we talk to 5 ml of any type of juice is sufficient to be taken per day.
Okay. So, now that we were talking about sugar intake, in water. So now actually I would like to talk about how is sugar healthy or unhealthy for your body. So, a lot of people say that you should not consume white sugar because it's processed and white sugar is not healthy for your body. And so would you say, but, people like desserts so much, and normally people have sweet tooth and they tend to go for desserts and all these things. So would you say that sugar is unhealthy for your body, and if yes, how?
Sugar basically white sugar that is double refined. We can see आजकल जो sugar आते package पे it's mentioned refined sugar, double refined sugar. So the sugar that is being refined is not healthy. But yes, the sugarcane sugar if we can get which is not refined, yes, some processing is surely done. But if it's not refined, that can be taken in a limited amount. As in not for basically if we add sugar to everything, मिठाइयाँ खा रहे हैं or we having some
Yeah.
sweet dish, but that sugar is not healthy in those things. If we are going for cookies, pastries, packaged, that is basically the refined sugar we are consuming. But yes, if we take some amount of sugar in making some homemade sweet dishes like gajrela or pinya or halwa that we cook, that can be taken, that can surely be taken. It will benefit your health. But still, again, if it is being overused, then it will obviously harm your body.
Okay, okay. So, would you say that so the dessert that we get from the market, I mean, the mithais and all, and the ice creams, because we eat ice cream quite a lot,
Yeah.
and also we make shakes at home also. It is a season of mangoes, so we make mango shake, and so many we add sugar in it and cold coffee and so many things basically. So, so adding white sugar, is it unhealthy, or can we, is there any other sauce that we can add instead of white sugar?
As mishri is available, we know that is not as refined as the white sugar. So to
Okay.
some extent we can replace it by mishri if possible. Other than that, if we talk about some sweet dishes, so I think many of the sweet dishes can be cooked with jaggery or the shakkar or the powdered jaggery that we call. That can be cooked with those, so that are also a good supplement. Then we can also go for stevia. If we can use homegrown stevia or the stevia tablets and in syrups, that's also available. It's better to go with the homegrown stevia, but obviously if there is no other way, then we can obviously go for the packaged stevia. That can also be a good supplement to sugar.
Okay, okay. And what about those sugar-free products that we get in the market, in the name of sugar-free? And so if you can please talk about that. Are they actually sugar-free?
I don't really think they are sugar free. I haven't ever recommended or tasted it ever. But yes, some studies have actually proved it causing cancer in many people. So I really do not suggest this to anyone, even if one is suffering from diabetes. I would say please take a small piece of jaggery if you have a very, feel craving for something, but never go for those products. I never recommend those.
Oh, okay, okay, got it. Now, now moving on to my next question. So, if you can please talk about the sources of protein that one can have, and also how can one include protein in their diet, and also what are the good sources of protein?
Talking about non-vegetarian diet, I think everyone knows chicken, eggs. These are all very good sources of protein. But yes, vegetarians always lack in intake of sufficient protein throughout.
Yeah.
We can do for vegetarians is we can always add 2 to 3 meals of dal or any pulse or legumes in a day. That will help you to consume a good source of intake of protein. Other than that, we can go for paneer. Milk is a good source of protein. Any milk product can be consumed. Other than that, soya is a very good source of protein. Soya ke we can have soya paneer, soya milk. Everything is available these days that can be consumed. If we need something, because ये तो सबको पता ही है. Other than that, we can do is sattu is available, like roasted besan. What we call is besan is that chane ka powder. If we roast it and add some jaw to it, that can be added in a glass of water. 1 tablespoon can be added. Then we can add some lemon and a little of salt and pepper to it for a good taste. That is also very good, post workout drink that can be consumed, and it is very good source of protein that can be consumed. Other than that, if we are baking, cooking some chapati, what we can do is we can add some besan to it. Usse kya hoga, the protein content of the meal, basic meal that we are having, that will increase. Then there are seeds which are good source of protein, like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. All these seeds have good amount of protein. These can be added in our routine, like if we are cooking something like curd le rahe hain, so what we can do is we can roast flax seeds and powder a little of pumpkin seeds and all. Then we can add it in the curd. We can add these in the sweet dishes if we are cooking. Also, these seeds can be soaked and consumed. But yes, flax seeds it's not recommended in the summers. In soaked form and grinded, it can be taken, but as such, it's not recommended because it's very hot in nature.
Okay.
And it's also recommended to take other seeds as well being soaked, because it enhances their absorption in the body. So it's always better to take seeds and nuts being soaked only.
Okay, okay, great, great. And also, if you can please talk about, people have this idea of good food and bad food. So if you can please differentiate between these two, and what exactly is good food and bad food.
There is nothing as such as good food and bad food. It's all just, being classified as, it's all what we have been classified, listening to one person or the other.
Okay.
What basically we need to do is we just need to be very mindful of what we are eating and the portion size we are consuming. Like if at times during the wedding season, we cannot avoid taking, outside food, because we have to
Yeah.
get there, and we cannot say, no, I'm not having anything. That can never happen. So what we can always do is we can have something from the home before only, so that we feel a little full. We don't feel like ye bhi kha lo, wo bhi kha lo. That doesn't happen over there.
Yeah.
So what we can do is कि वहाँ पे जाके we can have little portions of everything whatever we want. And if we feel like कि guilt हो गया घर आके कि oh, I have eaten so much, what can I do, my weight will be increased the next day. So what you can do is you can always intermittent fast for the next day, like start eating the next day by 12. By the till 12, what you can do is in the morning just have water. That will help you balancing the routine. But that is all actually mental thing only. If just you want to calm your mental thing, yeah, I'm having that guilt of eating bahar ka food and all that. That is just for that. It won't actually help you. But yes, it is good thing. Detoxification will also happen in your body, so that can be done.
Okay, got it. Also, Dr. Tamanna, one more question to you is, so, what happens is, there's a lot of time when you don't normally feel hungry. You sometimes eat, because it is so that you should eat at least 3 times a day. So people, normally, even though they don't feel hungry, they go for 3 times meal. So is it necessary to go for 3 times meal, or if you don't feel hungry, one day a meal or 2 times a meal a day would do? Fine for your body.
I think people who do not feel hungry just for 3 meals a day, even they must be taking a very large proportion of single meal. The reason being they feel so full throughout the time. Actually, that is wrong. But yes, we should always listen to the body. Only if our body is demanding to have something, we should always feed it. But yes, make sure to have very small meals throughout. That will really help you and prevent you from bloating and acidity issues that we very commonly find these days, because our lifestyle is sedentary and we just don't feel find time to eat. So what we do is whatever we get, so we just I don't know if I'll ever get time to eat in the next time or no. So abhi pet bhar lo achhe se. So that is what we are basically doing. So that should not be done. Just the time we feel ki yes, we are satisfied with what we are having, we should leave the food there. Always add small portions into the plate so that wo bahut zyada overeating na ho aapki.
Acha, okay. So I think we are almost done with the questions, but also so there is one more question. So how important is fiber, and how can fiber be added into a diet, especially in the diet of senior people?
Well, fiber is a very important component to keep our body movements working. Especially these days, we find people feeling constipated. I have most of my clients who feel constipated, and that has been continued since a long years. Like if I talk to them, they say, "Mujhe 3 saalon se constipation hai. I cannot, pass out every day." So that is a very common issue these days. Fine. So fiber plays a very important role in, relieving from constipation. And other than that, what happens is to relieve constipation, one needs to add good water to it, because to form the bulky stool, it needs fiber as well as water to absorb it and then pass it through, or it will be very hard and could not pass through easily. So one needs to add that. Other than that, what fiber does is it removes fatty acids from the body. It binds to the fatty acid and removes from the body, which is also helpful in reducing the low density lipoproteins that are basically not bad, that are basically not good proteins, which are the bad lipoproteins in our body. So that reduces the chance of any cardiac issue one can feel, can be heart stroke or heart attack. That can be reduced with the help of good intake of fiber. Other than that, if a person who is diabetic or whose glucose level spikes or is at a very stage of having the diabetes, if that person consumes good amount of fiber, it will help to control the glycemic index. What happens is basically when we eat good fiber, it does not let glucose absorb very quickly. It delays the absorption of glucose in the body. So what happens is कि जो हमारा glucose spike होता है basically in the diabetic people, that is delayed, and due to which their sugar level is maintained. To add fiber, the other question was how to add the fiber in the diet. To that, I'll answer is to add fiber, there are all the foods and the fruits and the vegetables we are having, they are all good in fiber. But yes, there are particularly some fruits and vegetables that are higher in fiber. Apple, banana can be added. Then the vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, beans, all these are very good in fiber. Nuts and seeds can be consumed. it is always said to, like we tend to peel the apple and then consume it. The
Yeah, yeah,
peel
yeah.
of is also a very good source of fiber. So I
Mhm.
always recommend, if you cannot, chew the apple, or there is like for the elder people, basically they're not able to chew. So what can be done is we can grate the apple with the peel. That can be grated, and then it becomes easier for them to chew as well.
Okay,
Banana is a
okay.
very soft form of that can easily be given to them. Then talking about nuts and seeds, that can be, transfer, that can be grinded and made into very that smooth powder form, that can be
Uh-huh.
added into their milks, into their shakes, into the curd. That can also, enhance the fiber content in their food. So try giving, including food by adding those things in blended form. That will be very easier for them to consume and will be good for them, because in elder people also constipation is very common because they do not have that good
Yeah.
movements throughout the day. They are almost sitting on the bed and lying. So that needs to be very important to add good fiber in their diet.
Okay, okay, got it, got it. I mean, that's amazing, what you told. And also, okay, so before I let you go, one last question to you is, um, if you can please burst out this myth of uh, of tea and coffee being unhealthy or healthy. So, is tea and coffee healthy or unhealthy? And also, how much tea or coffee intake in a day is good for one?
See, I think now everything is so available, so much available on the Google and YouTube. Everyone knows that coffee has caffeine, has some antioxidant properties that help, very well in the body. So what we can do is we can always take 1 to 2 cups of tea or coffee can be taken in the day, because that has become actually our routine. We cannot
Hmm.
survive without taking tea or coffee throughout the day,
Yeah,
because our routine has
yeah.
been prepared as such. Also, the working people, they feel the need to have
Mhm.
it. So that can always be consumed 1 to 2 cups, 1 to small cups. वो बड़े वाले cups नहीं भर के हम बैठ जाते हैं. That should not be
Acha.
taken.
Okay.
But yes, the most important thing is कि we like I belong to Punjab basically. So what Punjabis do is they take in the morning breakfast. What they do is they take big pranthas of aloo, paneer, and all that, and they have a good big cup of coffee or tea, and they have it with. I don't know in outside Punjab also. I think there will be people who must be doing that. So that is not recommended. The reason being that if I have seen some of my clients, I have also faced this problem with some of my clients, that they are very prone to having 4 to 5 cups in a day. Like they feel like having a cup of tea at night also. They want a bed tea in the morning. So what I always say them, because if I ask them to directly nahi sirf 2 cup lane, you cannot have 5. So it is something that is not actually applicable. They cannot do that instantly.
Yeah,
Bring very drastic change is not possible. So
true.
what I suggest is that either let's go for 2 sips or 3 sips of tea or coffee in the time whatever you are having. Just reduce the quantity, and dhire then I stop their bedtime and the night tea especially. That is what I never suggest. Start your day with tea or coffee. That is what I never suggest. But yes, if one is in a habit of it and you cannot survive without it, you can obviously go, but try to reduce the quantity, the portion size of what you're having. And also I was saying is that you never have any caffeine intake with your meals. The reason being,
Okay.
having caffeine with your meals does not let the iron absorb in your body. So we should always keep at least a gap of half an hour to 1 hour between the meal and our caffeine intake. You can have it, but
Mhm.
try to keep a gap of half an hour so that the iron in the meal gets properly absorbed in your body.
Oh, okay. So this must be taken care of. Okay, that's a very important fact. Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Tamanna, for coming to SCube TV and speaking with us. It was such a lovely, and quite knowledgeable conversation that we had. And thank you so much for actually enlightening our audiences with such important details and important facts. So it was so lovely chatting with you. It was such a fun conversation, and also, like I said, a knowledgeable one. Thank you again for coming to the channel.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, that's it from SCube TV. Keep on watching and do subscribe to the channel.